Hello, everybody. This is Bernadette from European Life. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm happy that we are here today because we are traveling a lot lately. And as much as I like travel, it's very nice to be in the studio today. Now, today we're going to have a great guest. And I have to say that, as you know, we are working with a lot of EuropeanLife Luxury Week events around the world. And because of that, we are a lot in boat industry, in nautical industry. And the reason why I think it's so interesting is because nowadays a boat show is not just about boats. It's more than that. There is a lot of luxury opportunities, business opportunities. There is a lot of even other brands are on board. Maybe nautical life, sea life, having the clothes, having the luxury brands on board. And so that's why I'm very excited about my next guest. His name is Steven Lorenzo, and we work with them because he is the show director of Cancun Boatshow. And it's going to be in December. And Steven is not only a show director of Cancun Boatshow, but he also has a background in marketing. He knows a lot about tourism, and he's also involved a lot in recreational nautical industry. That's a big word. But he's very interesting to talk to, and I'm very curious about his story. So I'm happy you are here today. Hi, Steven. Thank you for being with us today. How are you today?
Very good, Bernadette. Thank you so much for having me on. It's such a pleasure.
Well, we are very proud to have you on board. I think you are in Florida right now, in Miami, isn't it? That so?
That is correct. We're headquartered in Miami, Florida.
Wow, that sounds like a postcard altogether. So, well, we like to know more about you. I just told you in my introduction about you being the show director of Cancun Boat Show. And we are very curious about the boat show as it is, but also about Cancun and the whole setup. I didn't tell our listeners yet that we also have a EuropeanLife Luxury Week at the same time of the boat show. So it's a big event, there's something for everybody there. So you as the boat show director, tell me a little bit about that. I think it's a lot of responsibility, to be honest.
It really is. Sometimes, it can be a little overwhelming. But it's about balancing responsibilities. We're glad to have a EuropeanLife Luxury Week at the Cancun International Boat Show this year. I'm sorry. Can I start that again?
We are very curious about your boat show because I think to be honest, I talked to you before, of course, about the whole thing, and I feel that it's more than just a boat show. It's not just like a boat show separately. There is more to it, and it might be very interesting for our listeners because we have mostly a lot of entrepreneurs but also investors on board listening to us, and so you might tell us a little bit more about the Cancun Boat Show, but also about your responsible in there.
Well, it's what we're doing is we've brought on a lot more than just boats to get the interest in Cancun. Cancun is a very cosmopolitan Caribbean town. We're bringing in fine art. We're bringing in the several things to make this show very interesting. Where the theme of the show is celebrating life on the water. So we're bringing fine art. We're bringing fashion shows, and it's all water related. It all has to have a nautical theme to it, which is our market. It's a very high-end market in Cancun. So these added luxuries are part of the vibe in Cancun.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds. I mean, it sounds really nice to be there all together. But I also am very curious because of the opportunities you are also offering as for business opportunities, or do you have any one-to-one meetings possibilities, or um, are there going to be real sales and buying of boats on that show as well? Is the possibility there?
Absolutely, absolutely. Mexico is a growing destination for boaters. There are new people entering the sport every day, and we want to keep the industry growing, but in an organized way. What do I mean by that is we have to maintain proper inventories and have the proper selection, not just in boats, but accessories. And yes, there's opportunities. It's a perfect time. Mexico is the number 2 export market for rec marine for the United States. It's a very important market.
It's a perfect spot, by the way, between South America and North America. I think it's a very perfect spot. I know from my own knowledge of events that there is also IBTM, which is in Mexico City, but that's also chosen as a place between USA and between South America. So it's a good place to be. So I now you as the show director, I wonder if there is. Do you have any stories about people going there with the boat? I understand that the boats, going into to be in the show, or what countries are they from? Are they coming from far, or are they all local more, or is it more around Mexico in combination with Florida kind of boats? Tell me. Oh, the Caribbean is close as well, by the way.
Yes, there's a big synergy between Miami and Cancun. We'll have Denison Yachts, which is headquartered here in Miami, but they have brokerage listings in Mexico, in the Cancun area. Their boats will be there. All new boats pass through Miami on their way to Cancun. Cancun is very special because it's the water, the boating waters for many people. As you mentioned, Mexico City and Monterrey, and these are the big money pockets in Mexico, and that's where the boat owners live. But where they enjoy their boats is in Cancun. Same thing goes for many people that live in the United States. Their second home, whether it's a luxury condominium or a full house in Cancun, that's where they keep their boat. The water there is beautiful. There's an airport with 800 flights a day, so connectivity around the world is not an issue. That's one of the reasons we made the show there. It's just a perfect place that it all comes together, and the show was long overdue in Cancun.
It sounds also great as a meeting point, actually, to have people are considering going there to meet other business people in many industries, actually, but meeting Cancun on that place just to take advantage of the opportunity, right?
Absolutely. This is the Cancun International Boatshow, but everybody, it's really Mexico's boat show. Everybody from Mexico, all the major players, brokers, dealers, they come to the show. They're there. And we also draw off from the Caribbean and the United States and Europe. We have a 5-year plan to make this the largest show in the Caribbean.
Well, I have no doubt you're going to make that. That's for sure. Tell me, Steven, how did you get that in that position of show director of Cancun Boat Show? I mean, I know you have a big background in marketing mostly. So tell me a little bit more about that. How do you get that?
It's interesting. The real reason is I saw the need. All my life, I've only known marketing, recreational, marine, and tourism. Why? Because my marketing accounts were always tourism or for recreational marine promotion. And I've been dealing with Mexico, working with Mexico for 35 years now. And I saw an incredible need. And many other people in the industry also saw the need. I just think the approach wasn't the right way. Everybody was thinking, let's do a boat show in Mexico City. Well, guess what? There's no water in Mexico City. Yes, plenty of money there for people to buy the boats, but it's going to be a boat show without boats. It wasn't practical. So we chose Cancun for the obvious reasons. It's a big yachting center. It's a second home for many people. And it's got the connectivity. So it was a no-brainer. It was a perfect place to create the boat show. There's a need, like I said before, the industry is growing, but there are holes in the inventory and selection, and sometimes the latest technology is not readily available, and people have to come to Miami. Well, we want to have it all there. We want to have it as much as possible there in Mexico.
So now, Steven, in this season, we have a little bit of a theme called Before and After Corona. And I can imagine, I know every event is having some kind of problems. There were times that countries were kind of closed altogether. So now we see a lot of events coming back. I do still see events will be canceled, but most of them are back and very, very successful and popular. People are so sick and tired of the lockdowns. They want to go out there. They want to meet people. They want to be on an event. They want to show their products and their businesses. Now, I wonder, do you have, or the Cancun Boat Show does have like a before and after story? Are there things different now? What do you do on the Cancun Boat Show than it was before, or what's the situation?
Our story is very interesting in that aspect. The Cancun Boat Show was actually born out of the Corona lockdown. It gave me personally a strategic time for planning and coordinating. Coordinating was not difficult because Mexico is one of those few countries that never closed down. Tourism was always open in Mexico.
Yeah, it sounds like vacation.
And because of the coronavirus, the yacht charter business just went through the roof. It was a logical step. You want to rent a private charter with you and the family unit that lives at home, and you're in a nice, safe environment. It wasn't all that easy because we did have to change the dates twice.
Really? Wow.
Yes, yeah. We 2 months before, when we saw the spikes going up, we knew that we had to cancel it or no one will come. Mexico has or had a traffic light system, so if it was red, everything would be almost closed. Orange, it opens up a little bit. We did it in yellow. We did it when there were only 30 cases a day in the entire state of Quintana Roo, which was the perfect time to do it. We had 6,600 visitors show up, which was not bad for the first show. You have to realize that Mexico, most people in the industry, and I'm talking mechanics and service people, didn't even know what a boat show was. They had never been to one.
Oh, wow. That's fun.
You kind of have to explain to them. Of course, they're not the decision makers, but these people are very important. And they're very important to have at a boat show and to attend and be there. And it's coming around.
I think it's also a very good promotion for Mexico as a country. I think Mexico have a lot to offer on its own, but an event like this, I think it also highlight that postcard feeling. You have the harbor and Mexico it's like colorful and there is vacation every day, at least for us from Europe. We think of Mexico that way. So a boat show sounds like a great fit to me, actually. I was wondering, because there are a lot of people listening and there are a lot of entrepreneurs as well. So some of them might also consider having an event or had to even cancel their event before Corona and want to go back on the market. It seems like you, with your background in marketing, being a show director of the Cancun Boat Show and being started in Corona time, I think you're the perfect person to ask advice to and to give us tips about it. So can you tell if there are listeners and say, okay, I would like to start my own event as well. What do they have to do even more or better or stronger now than before Corona? What do you think is the most important thing?
Events are people events. This kind of event is where you need a lot of different people from different sub markets. And first of all, you have to make sure that there's the necessity and the demand, that there's an interest, that your event will bring something to the table, will be beneficial to those involved. Not only the exhibitors, but also the attendees, of course. And for example, our first show was not bad. We had almost $12 million in an economic impact on the city. So we're working with tourism. They obviously saw that this is a key. I brought a word to the table there, and it's called nautical tourism. So there's needs from all sides, not just to growing the market, but there's nautical tourism where we want to have people coming from Miami or South America to sail up with their yachts and spend some time in Cancun.
So you actually say that if you want to start an event, any event actually, you have to see if you can get a line between, for example, other parties, like government parties, tourist officers, just see what kind of groups are interested to be in your corner, right? Is that what you say?
Absolutely, and persistence, because sometimes it might not be obvious to all parties, but persistency and then logic and the numbers don't lie. They're beneficial. Tourism, we're working very close with tourism now, more so than the first show. Like I said, they didn't always understand it, but now they see that Mexico's number one draw is its beaches, and anything that happens on the beach, from a stand-up paddleboard to a multi-million-dollar yacht, is all nautical tourism.
Yeah, no, and I think also the combination is great. That tourism group, that Mexico as a country for tourism. On the other side, it's a boat show also very interested for business life, for people to see the business opportunities. And with the EuropeanLife Luxury Week in Cancun at the same time, I think you have like a perfect mix. You can have different ways, different reasons to go there. So I think it's a very perfect picture you gave us today, Steven. Okay, for everybody there, if you want to know more about the Cancun Boat Show, you can go. Steven has, of course, a bio and a small page for himself. So go to our website, EuropeanLifeMedia.com, go to the podcast and see his information. You can get in touch with him if you are interested to do anything with Cancun Boat Show. And you should stay with us, because we will probably have more interviews for people who are involved in this trade show. I'm trying to get something in the luxury brands on the runway, which is very interesting for us as well. So you might stay tuned and see next week if we have some interesting people on board again. For now, Steven, thank you so much for being here and for giving us tips and a lot of information about Cancun Boat Show. And of course, because we are doing EuropeanLife Luxury Week, I cannot wait to fly in.
Thank you for having me. It's been great. And yes, I hope to see you there.
Yeah, I think that we should. So everybody out there also, I would say,
wait till you see the watercolor. You're going to love it. You're going to get to Cancun. You're going to see the color of the water, all the different greens and blues, and your jaw will just drop. I promise you that.
I can't wait. It's in December. It's from 9 to 16 December. So everybody who's interested to do something with the boat show, go in touch, get to the website and see how you can reach Steven to get in touch. Everybody who's thinking of an event for their own, take these tips and do and start it. It's very important that we get more events out there. I actually talked to some events in Dubai this week, and I find out, or not only Dubai, also in India, but I find out that they get a lot of possibilities or sponsoring from governments and cities. Everybody wants to have these events back in their city, the tourist bags in the hotels and in the country. So it might be a very good time to start any event. Keep your eye on that. Okay, thank you very much, Steven. I hope to see you soon, and we keep in touch. And for all you listeners, thank you again for being here. And from the studio in Barcelona, where it's very hard, it's 29 degrees today. So yeah, it's too hot for my taste. But thank you anyway. And I hope you have a great week. Bye.
Bye-bye, Bernadette. Thank you.
Thank you for listening today. Please subscribe and share this podcast. Do you have a question or a story to share? Please find us at podcast@europeanlifemedia.com.